Hey everyone, Tank Top Tech here. Today we're going to be taking a look at this gross Nintendo Game Boy. Hopefully we can get it working, and if we can, then we're going to give it a nice facelift. Okay, let's check this thing out here. It doesn't look that bad. There's some damage on the bottom here. But other than that, I also remember he said that the screen pops off, but it hasn't had it yet, so that should be okay. Let's see if it actually turns on. I don't know if you can see it here, but this connector looks kind of off to the side, a little messed up. My camera's not the greatest, so I'll take a picture of it if need be. But let's throw some batteries in, see what happens. I am wearing gloves because this thing is pretty nasty, and I don't want to catch the corona off of it. So. Nothing. Alright. Little tip is spin your, but yeah, that's not even making contact. I wonder if I can just bend it. Worst come to worst, I do have some replacement parts here for it, so not a huge deal. Ooh. Yeah, I figured. Alright. Yeah, these are all bent out of shape. That might be why it's not turning on. But there's also a lot of corrosion in the bottom here and gunk. And I don't know if you can see that. Right in there, it looks like there's some sort of copper wire or something that's like picking out. I don't know. That's pretty sus, not gonna lie. All right, let's get this thing open. Here I have my poor man's iFixit kit off Amazon. Just as good. I'm gonna grab some tweezers out while I'm here too, why not? Alright. We need a tri-wing, and I think that's it. Yeah, it looks like it for the outside shell, so grab our tri-wing. Come on now, you. Oh, she comes off. Let me get the screws out here. Alright, that guy's not coming out. That's alright though. So with these older Game Boys, you can't just like haul the shell off immediately because there's a ribbon cable connecting them. It's not your quite standard ribbon cable. This one is just like friction fit, so you can just grab it and pull right out and slice your gloves in the process. Alright, this doesn't look that bad. There's a little bit of corrosion right here, but everything else seems to be okay. Nothing really looks blown or anything like that, so it is just nasty. Alright, I'll put that off to the side, because this is where we want to look. It does not power on at all. Like again, a little bit of corrosion, but nothing major. It's just these battery terminals that are a little funky. So I'm going to take this out and I'm going to take a look at those battery terminals. You're trying your Phillips every time. Yeah, these connections here do not look good. A lot of corrosion on it. Some weird gunk around the base here. It's just in general a kind of gross looking board. Alright. Oh jeez, this whole thing is nasty. Eugh. I think I might not even bother try fixing this. Or this case anyways. I might just take the shield out and then start putting in the new shell. I think that's what I'll do. First, let's clean this thing up though. As horrible as it is. Oh, our lovely, lovely IPA. And just go around the board with a toothbrush. And that should get rid of most things that are going to be the problem. Maybe it wasn't the connections at all. Maybe it was just the power switch. Put some IPA in there and then give it a flick around. I'll get back to you guys once everything's cleaned up. Okay, so while the board is drying off its IPA and cat hair apparently, I'm going to see if I can bend this spring back the way it should be. It's actually loose on there. Oh yeah, that's real loose. Oof, my bones. Wonder if I could just resolder that. But I do have replacements, so I think it'll just be better if I give them the new one. So I'm going to turn on my soldering iron. I'm going to let it get hot, and I'm going to replace these two terminals here just because I can. Okay, soldering iron's nice and hot. Let's see if we can pull these terminals off. Ooh. Let's go, buddy. There we go. That's one. Let's get the second one. No soldering fan again. Just, you know, just don't do that. Just get a soldering fan or a regular fan, something. Don't do what I'm doing. It's bad for you. All right. Put the new ones on. Oh no. That's all right. Hate this. Hate this, hate this, hate this, hate this, hate this. Before I solder on the new ends, which are right here and here, I'm going to clean up those spots that I just soldered on because they're still pretty gross. Oh, look at that. Nice and clean. Beaut. Back here too. Never. Oh, missed a spot. Look at that. All right, let that dry up. Okay, so it's been a little bit of a mess. My soldering iron actually got too hot and started burning the handle, so I had to switch to a different glove that can withstand the heat. And I also did my positive side first because it was being a little difficult to do it. I don't have like the alligator clips to hold everything in place and make do, right? So I'm going to do the true tech way and just go for it, you know? If you can't see it, sorry. If you can, dope. I'm doing a quick voiceover here. I just want to say that the other techs on YouTube that do this and they have like the proper, you know, soldering iron and the proper tools and stuff like that, that's lying. That's weakness. This is how you do it right here. Raw, with your hands, no clips, holding it steady. Beautiful. There we go. Finally. Look at that. Can't even tell. Factory made right there. So now that the new contacts are soldered on, factory made mind you, we're going to start moving it into the new shell that I got off retromodding.com. They have a lot of good stuff there, and I went with this color because it's my second favorite color, and it was also the only one they had in stock. So keep that in mind if you want to do this. Before we do that though, don't forget to take out the heat shield here, and it also looks pretty grody, so I'm probably going to give it a quick clean before I throw it into the new shell. Ooh, good noises. You're not using the right screwdriver tip. Listen, alright? I'm too lazy to go back in and grab another one, so... But that's exactly what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to look like a fool. There we go. Easy. First time's a charm. The new shell does come with all new screws, so if you're like, wow, he's not putting them in the right order, yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah, we don't need that anymore. That's nasty. Oh, this doesn't look too bad, actually. Kind of hard to see. There's some scratches, but that's not a big deal. I'll give it a quick wipe down. That's pretty good, actually. All right. Okay. Keep running into these little technical difficulties here. I keep messing up. But let's just throw these in. New screws. These actually get threaded. These are self-tapping screws, so they get threaded as you're screwing them in. So if you're using your old shell, or plan on reusing your old shell, before you go to put the screw in, keep turning it a little bit to the left before you start screwing it in. So that way you don't destroy the threads and then end up ripping it out of the shell. You know what I mean? I said that wrong, but whatever. Beaut. Alright, toss this guy back in. Easy. Easy as pie. Oh, can't forget my little battery. Gross. Don't forget your power switch like I almost just did. Put that in there. What's wrong here? What's going on? Oh, I'm big on, don't worry. That worked. Another one. That looks pretty good. All right. So I'm going to set this off to the side. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to put the other battery things in here. These just slide in. I got it right, which I didn't. Yeah, if you have the new battery ones, make sure you grab the right thing. These are W2 and that one's W1. Easy. When I say W1 and W2, I mean there's a little indicator on them. There, look at that. Perfect. That's a pretty good job. You can't even tell. All right, let's work on getting the screen. Ooh, look at that. There you go. Good thing I have another one of these, so nothing really to worry about. Just that LCD is exposed now, so I'll have to clean that before we continue. Before I put it into the new one anyways. All right. We're going to go the same thing. We're going to look at the bits of this. The speaker doesn't look that good. There's a little bit of corrosion here. Other than that, it looks pretty okay. I've yet to see the front side, so we'll experience that together. These screws I am going to have to keep track of because these... actually, no, I won't. Never mind. Never mind. I do have more right here. Just didn't see them. Ta-da! Look at that. Okay, get this out of there. Did I miss a screw? Ooh, it's like stuck down. Nice. Ooh, my bones. Trying to be careful with it. Ooh. Ooh, that hurts. Something is sticky on the inside there. Oh my goodness. Ooh, that's nasty. I was wondering why it was so stuck down. All this adhesive along the side here is just like covered in grossness. I'll try to hold that up to the camera. Camera's not very good, so you probably won't see it, but yeah. Ooh, that hurts. That hurts. All right, let's give these a clean up. Hit. These are also ceramic tipped holy Jesus. These are also ceramic tipped tweezers. They're pretty good when you're going across the board and stuff like that because you can't accidentally short something out. So these are always a good buy. Ooh, these are nasty looking. Okay, I'm going to set this aside and I'm going to clean all this and then I'll get back to you guys. Okay, so that's my screen board and speaker cleaned up. I didn't see anything too crazily wrong with it, other than it was just horrendous to look at. And along with these buttons as well. If I had known they were going to be that kind of nasty, I probably would have just bought some replacements and then had some nice fresh ones to go into the new case, but I didn't. So maybe that'll be for the future. This would also be the perfect opportunity if you were doing an IPS or a backlight mod. This would be the one, this would be the chance to take it. So let's put this all together. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Look at that. First shot. Nice. All right. Snapping is all part of it, don't worry. Again, if you're reusing an old shell, you should be turning these back a half turn and then starting to screw them in. So that way you don't destroy your shell, because these are self-tapping. Okay. Let's put it back into here. Again, this is that weird friction fit type of cable connector, so just kind of force it in. If you can get it anyways. Might be off on this. There we go. It'll go in. All right. Make sure I didn't fuck anything up. Nope. Close it back up. Oh, simple. Much better. Now is when I have to reuse the Y-tips. Beaut. Take a little fiber, clean that off. Okay, so let's get out the screen for this. I also have a Game Boy Color that'll be coming soon, and as well as a Game Boy Advanced IPS mod, also from Retro Modding. So if you want to see that, you should maybe do the thing with the button and the liking that every other YouTuber talks about. If I can get this open. 1 second. Okay, I spent way longer than I want to admit on how long that took to get off, but that's all right. Let's put this guy in here. Nice and snug. Oh no. No, no, no. We're good. All right, nothing to worry about. Damn, that's ugly. What was I thinking? Oh my goodness. Damn. All right, well, let's see if it turns on. That's all that really matters, ain't it? Oh, it doesn't. That hurts. That hurts. Try it with a game. Oof, nothing. Damn. All right, not to be discouraged by putting it all back together and it not working. I've taken it back apart and I decided I'm going to take a better look at my power switch because I know that my battery contacts are good. So it is still kind of grody. Now what I could do is I could take my soldering iron and I could take off this shielding here and really get in there and, you know, clean up the insides. But I really don't want to do that, although that probably is what the problem is. So instead, I'm going to take a Q-tip, dip it in some IPA, not the beer, and put a nice big glob in there. Much as we can. Squeeze it right out. Get in there. And I'm just going to flick it back and forth a bunch. You can feel it oozing out onto my fingers there. That's a good sign. And I'll hit it again. Why not? It's not going to hurt nothing. Again, flip it back and forth a bunch. I would recommend probably taking the shielding off and cleaning it that way, but it can be a little difficult as there are two like connector legs in here that'll just bing right out of there and then you'll never find them again. Or you could just buy a whole new switch and solder that on. One of the two, who knows. Also, I'm going to take some compressed air and I'm going to blow it out. Nice. All right, let's put it back together and see if that does anything. Okay, so our shell is back on. Our switch is cleaned. Let's throw our batteries in here and see if she turns on this time. Hey, look at that. We have light and there's something on the screen. We do have some lines here though. That's okay. Let's put a game in and see if she plays. Turns on, Nintendo logo comes down. Will you play the game? Hey, F1 race. Nice. Let's start to do this. Okay. Start and select. Huh. Push start. All right. Well, it plays. There are lines on the screen here, but that's okay because eventually this will get an upgrade to an IPS screen, and it seems like we're also gonna have to fix the sound. Yeah, the sound is no bueno. That's okay. A button works. B button works. Select start. Yeah, that all works. Look at that. And our contrast wheel works pretty well. Amazing. Look at that. Perfect. There you have it. A little bit of a facelift for the original Game Boy, and we actually managed to get it working too, so that's always a plus. You know, there are some things that are going to need to be done with it later in the future, like fixing the screen and fixing the volume. But I mean, those are things you couldn't tell because it had no power to begin with. The big takeaway from this is that don't be discouraged if your first attempt at something doesn't work, because you can always go back and try again. I see a lot of techs where they'll try one thing, they'll put it all back together, and then they'll be like, oh, it doesn't work, and they'll get all mad, and, you know, they like get to their head. Just, you know, Just whatever happens. Just take your time, reopen it, do it again, try something different. Don't get stressed out with your work. Otherwise, you're going to start throwing stuff around, and that's no good for anyone. So if you want to see me upgrade the screen and fix the volume on this, it's going to be coming probably in the future at some point. Maybe if I order an IPS screen or something like that. And it still might look heinous, but I kind of like it. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Have a good one.